Hello, and welcome to Silicon Valley Girls Chat Over Tea. I'm Gloria.
And I'm Rosetta.
Hey.
Hello, everyone.
Yes, and we thank you for coming and hanging out with us for a little bit. And we always like to let you know where we're coming from. And we're coming from a space of love and light and kindness and compassion and empathy. So if you're looking for a safe haven for about an hour or less, we're your girls today.
Thank you so much, Gloria. And thank you for everyone for returning back to our chat. If you're new, welcome. And if you're returning, welcome again. Gonna get going with the tea that we are drinking to today. And the tea I have today is from a company called Yogi, and it's called Honey Chai Turmeric Vitality. And this is sweet and a spicy blend to support overall health. And I'm going to read the ingredients right here. All right, we have a proprietary blend of herbs, cinnamon bark, ginger root, cardamom pod, stevia leaf, clove bud, and black pepper. And it looks like this. And another thing I like about this is that, well, Gloria likes this as well, but any teas on the tag, it has a little proverb. So my one says, life is best lived by focusing on your goals and dancing through all other distractions.
I love that.
Yep, and I've had it seeping and it smells amazing. And I love the fact that it has the pepper with the turmeric because we know that pepper allows for better absorption by 200%. So cheers to that. I have it.
Cheers.
Yep. And Gloria, what are you drinking today?
I am drinking a organic peach mango tea, and it is cold brew. Okay. Why are you
Now your face
disappearing?
completely disappeared.
I know what's up. Come on. Yeah.
Come on,
I know
cooperate.
you can do. Come on. There we go.
I think you have to move back a bit.
Okay, so I'm gonna move closer, disappear. Move
No,
back,
move back a bit.
move back, move back.
There should be a sweet spot right there, right there.
There we go.
You're too close,
Yay.
it doesn't work.
So this is a peach mango, and what I love is this cold brew iced tea because it's really strange. It's like the sun is shining, but if you get the breeze, it's cold, and if it's not, it's warm. So this can be served either cold or warm. Its ingredients are organic green tea, organic matcha, organic peach flavor, organic mango flavor, and that's it. Simple, easy breezy. So I decided to do the cold version today. So
Fantastic.
cheers.
All right. Cheers, everyone.
So, as always, when we start our chats, we want you to know that our thoughts and prayers go out to the universe. There's a lot going on in the world, and we want to have a safe haven, a tone, a place for peace and love and joy and happiness. So, if that's what you're looking for, come with us on this journey and let's get started. Today, National Day. There's many different national days, but the one that resonated with me is called All Is Ours Day. Now, there are three options. The first option can be looked at as a time to reflect on all the beauty of nature and all the wonderful things in life. The second is to celebrate the day by appreciating everything, even if we don't have very much. Everything that we do have is a blessing. Remember that. And the third way is to view the day that we have, regardless of what we have, sharing. It seems to make tough times easier when we work together. The greatest time and the greatest things in life are those that are shared. That to me is beautiful. It just gives us a bubble of happiness, love, and joy.
Fantastic. And also today is Empanada Day. Have you heard of an empanada? Have you had an empanada? Well, if you don't know what they are, they're a delicious pastry that comes in several different forms, and they can also come in savory or sweet. Now, the name empanada comes from the Galician, Portuguese, and Spanish verb empanda, meaning to wrap or coat in bread. And as I mentioned, you can have them sweet or savory. So if you've ever had an empanada, click or put it down below in the description because I'd like to know what kind of empanadas. If you have a great recipe for an empanada, you can post that. And I've only had, well, actually, no, I've had sweet and savory empanadas. Have you had empanadas before, Gloria?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love them.
Yes.
And like they said, it's everybody does them a little different because it's the outside casing that's the same, but the filling is what's different and unique. And I
Yes.
love that.
Yes, I love it. All right, we have some birthdays today that we have to recognize, and the first one is Robin Wright. She is an actress, for those of you who don't know. She's received a Golden Globe Award, nominated 8 times for Emmy Awards, and some of her best known movies or shows she's been in is Forrest Gump. I'm sure you've all heard of Forrest Gump, House of Cards, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, just to name some of them.
Yes.
Also have Patricia Arquette, and she's another actress, and she's received Academy Award, a BAFTA, which is the British Academy Awards, two
Hmm.
Primetime Emmys, three Golden Globes, and two Screen Actor Guild Awards. And some of the things that she's known for is being in Severance, Toy Story 4, CSI Cyber. Remember, they did offshoots of CSI, and she was in the cyber one. Night Watch, and there was a show called The Medium. If you don't, I loved that show. That was a great show, and many more. You can look her up. So those are our birthdays. Happy birthday to Robin and Patricia Arquette.
All right.
Okay, so we are going to talk about Savannah Guthrie because even though she's been in the news a lot lately because of her mom Nancy, we're going to talk about her returning back to the Today Show on this past Monday. So on the 6th, she returned back to the Today Show. And I just loved what she wore. She opened it up for those of you that weren't aware that she was coming back on Monday. She opened up and she said, "We are so glad you started your week with us, and it is good to be home."
Oh,
And
yes.
she wore this amazing yellow dress. I loved
Yes.
it. It was
Yes.
long, and she just looked so good in it. However, I did notice that in that dress, she looked like she had lost a lot of weight.
Yes.
She's tiny, tiny, tiny. And I think through all this tragedy and everything, she's just probably just not been eating. She's been too worried. But what I love is the fact that she went outside with was it one of the Bushes? What's her name? Jenna Bush. Jenna Bush.
Yes.
Her and Jenna Bush went out linking arms, and she went out and met all the people that were there to see her, which was really nice.
Yes.
She
Yes.
looked really good, and I'm glad she's back, but we'll see how she holds up as the days go by, the days and weeks go by. Along the same lines of Savannah Guthrie, we want to talk about her mother, Nancy. Now, we've had some updates, and now, we've been talking a lot about updates because we like to give updates every week. But this update is particularly what's the word, particularly holds a lot because it's the day that she returned back to the Today Show that TMZ, it's really weird because TMZ has been the show that has been getting ransom notes from whoever's been sending them. And they actually received on Monday two more ransom notes, one in the morning and one in the afternoon from the same person. And this was Monday. Now, TMZ said they got more than half a dozen emails from the same person who sent the ransom notes on Monday. Emails in the past claimed to have info on Nancy Guthrie and claims to know where the kidnappers were. sorry, the kidnappers where they took Nancy Guthrie. So this is very important because this person, we don't know if it's a male or female, said kidnappers with an S, so it's
Mhm.
plural. So we now know there's two kidnappers. And the note said Nancy Guthrie was in Sonora, Mexico, and she is not alive.
Mm.
So that says a lot. And the note said, I saw her alive with them in Sonora, Mexico. And they also said they can lead authorities to the kidnappers. So the person who sent these notes said the same thing before. They can lead the authorities to the kidnappers. Now, my thing is, why didn't this person who's been sending these ransom notes um, just turn, like, if that person knew, because they're doing this reward, right, they keep upping the stakes of the rewards. If you have award rewards, if you have any kind of tips or clues that leads to an arrest or something, then this is what we're going to reward you with. Why didn't that person, he or she, come forward and just get the ransom, I mean get the reward, because
Right,
they know where the kidnappers are, which is
right.
something that I don't quite understand. This time around, they asked again for money to be put in a Bitcoin app, and they wanted about 34,000. So it's about 34,000 they wanted. And another thing that's quite important to point out is that in this ransom note, he said, time is no longer of the essence,
Mm.
which to me makes me believe that before there was some kind of urgency, now there's no urgency. Maybe Nancy Guthrie is no longer alive. That's what we're thinking.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't really understand all this because, hello, if you're the person that knows a lot, why don't you just come forward and maybe get the reward that they're offering? So that's an update that I have so far. What are your thoughts on it, Gloria?
Um, well, first, I agree, Savannah looked beautiful. And the people with the signs on the plaza, welcome home, welcome back, really touched her heart. She was clinging to Jenna because that's her girl. And, every now and then her voice would crack. When she said, and it's good to be home. Every time she would say, it's good to be home, you could see the emotions. So she's still processing the grief, but I believe being back will help her move forward. The ransom for me, number one, the family has offered up to $1 million. Why are you going to request $34,000? Why are you going to say the level of urgency is no longer, there's no urgency? So that tells me that there's medically, because of her pacemaker, there's no urgency to rush because she's probably passed on. I know that all Savannah needs is her mom. She needs to know where the remains are because it's just been too long. And I'm sure medical doctors have explained to them, when you have a pacemaker, the reason you have the phone is for the alerts. And when that disconnect occurs, the pacemaker is no longer getting and receiving signals. So, from that perspective, I think it's just really sad. And one day they're going to, I mean, for them to have a location like she's in Mexico, but there's no urgency. So, Savannah, our thoughts and prayers are with you and your family. We hope you will get answers because it's hard to move on. I couldn't imagine if something had happened to my dad where he just disappeared and I didn't know where he was or what happened. That would have driven me crazy. So we feel you and we hope that TMZ will continue to get the information. They'll turn it over to authorities. Authorities will follow up on these leads and they will find your mom, her remains, whatever, but they'll be able to find her.
Yeah. And just on a quick note, it is day 67 that she's been gone. So that's a
Yeah.
long time. So thoughts and prayers to everyone working on this case. And hopefully we can actually find out who this person is that's been sending the ransoms. Now it's very hard to actually pinpoint because the reason they've given an account where they can drop the money into the Bitcoin account, but it's hard to trace. So that's
Yeah.
why it's difficult to find out who this person is.
And
But
that's why they're using Bitcoin, is because
yes,
it's hard to trace.
yes.
Okay. So remember last week, I was all excited about NASA sending off a spaceship, Artem 2. It was going to go up and it was going to sort of, if you can imagine an infinite loop, it was going to circle around the moon. Well, I'm excited to tell you that the rocket went off while we were on talking to you all last week, last Wednesday. Um, there's been many aha moments. Number one, the pilot got to actually navigate the spaceship because most of the activity was driven by the crew on the ground. So that happened. They had an incident where the toilet stopped working. Oh my dear God, and they were able to get that repaired. Um, the Artemis 2 was to do a fly by the moon, which marks a key step towards long-term returns to the moon and future missions to Mars. They're hoping, I think it's 2028 by then to be able to start placing equipment on Mars to sort of start building an international space station so other countries can come and be and find out, is this a viable planet for life? Because they really don't know. So for me, some of the aha moments on April 6th, they have cameras on the spaceship itself. They took Nikon D50s with them to take pictures. They've already tested them, and based on the internal spaceship, they knew they would work, and their iPhones. There was they took a picture, and it was a solar eclipse. And when I'm trying to say which one was first. I think it was the moon passed in front of the sun, and it was a complete total eclipse. And then there's a picture where you can see the moon and the earth. The pictures were just spectacular. Those four astronauts have traveled further from Earth than any astronauts in history. And one of the moments that got us all to kind of hold our breath, their trip included a period of 40 minutes where the ship flew behind the moon and it was completely out of contact with all of us on Earth. And it's like in the movies, when they say, "Can you hear us?" and they say, "We hear you loud and clear." So it has been a great situation for mankind. It was a great success. They're still up there making their way back to Earth, and we'll keep you updated as it progresses. Rosetta, what excited you?
Well, what excited me was that they went 4,000 miles further than the Apollo 13 in 1970, which was amazing. And what I was thinking was, oh my God, they had a blackout for 40 minutes.
Yes.
Now, I was thinking, I don't even think I can manage 15 minutes, let alone 40 minutes. 5 minutes would be freaking me out.
Yes.
40 minutes would seem like a lifetime for me. So
Yeah.
that's why I wouldn't know. I was like, my goodness, I don't know how you managed that. I would have been so scared, so scared. And that
Yes.
was on Monday at around 6:46 p.m. And
Yes.
then they said that the crew are actually taking these photos for National Geographic. So I can't wait for them to actually publish that on National Geographic because there's going to
Yes.
be so many pictures that are going to be really amazing to see because
Yes.
obviously we only got to see a little clip, whatever you see when they're reporting it, but they must have
Exactly.
seen some amazing things. And they actually also got to see their own personal solar eclipse, which is amazing because all of us down here is like when there's a solar eclipse, it's a huge thing, right? Everybody tries to catch that. So that's an amazing thing.
Yes.
And also, another thing which I really loved was that they were able to name one of the unnamed craters on the moon, and they actually named it in memory of Commander Reed Weissman's wife, who
Right.
died of
Yeah.
cancer. They called it,
Yes.
her name was Carol, spelt Carroll. So that was really nice, something that was
Yes.
great that they could do. And Splashdown is this Friday at 8 p.m.
Yes.
So
There's also this April is autism month. So, it's wear your blues and be proud. There's a young boy, his name is Lucas Yee, and he created a plushie of the moon. And he's autistic. And so he has autism, I mean. And so what they did is they took that plushie on board the ship. So that young man has a piece of history that will live on forever. So
wow,
that was
amazing.
that was beautiful.
Amazing. They also showed that they had a bottle of Nutella that they brought with them.
And it flew. It just flew across the, they're doing their work and it's lunchtime and it just flew by.
Yeah, amazing. So I'm
Yes,
excited to see they've just done so much, accomplished so much, and I'm excited to see some of the pictures that they're taking for National Geographic.
me too.
All right. So something else that's exciting is that this year, it is the 50th year of Charlie's Angels. How many of you watched Charlie's Angels back in the days?
I
Me,
did.
I loved it. It was a weekly thing, and there was nothing better than watching the original Charlie's Angels, because I know they did a reboot of the movie Charlie's Angels, but to
Right,
me, it didn't quite have the same effect as back in when it launched. It actually debuted in 1976, so
right.
50 years. The original cast was Cheryl was no, the
No,
original cast was Farrell Fawcett, Jacqueline Smith, and Kate Jackson.
yes,
And Farrell Fawcett left and was replaced by Cheryl Ladd.
yes,
And I just really loved that these women were really redefining how people saw women.
yes,
Instead of like women chasing danger, instead of that, they were instead of women, sorry, being rescued because they're,
yes,
a lot of times women are
yes,
the ones in the rescue. The women are actually the ones that are saving other people and moving towards the danger. So they actually try to change the views of how women were seen. And I just love the fact that a lot of times you didn't even get to see Charlie. He was just on the other side somewhere
no, you
on
never got to
TV.
see Charlie. His voice was just in a little box. You never got to see Charlie.
Well, actually, no, because I remember seeing like footage of him. I can see his face quite clearly. We did get
Oh
to see
yeah, we
what,
could see his face, but not on the show.
not on
Even when they did the movie with Cameron Diaz and Drew
Lucy Liu,
Barrymore and
Lucy
Lucy
Liu.
Liu, even when they did them, they showed the back of a man walking on the beach. But the illusion of Charlie was he's never been seen on the show with the girls.
Yes.
Yes,
I loved like just the logo of the three women at the beginning with the theme music. And I
yes,
found out that little thing tidbit was that this idea of Charlie's Angels was all Kate Jackson's idea. She actually approached who was it? She approached Erin Spelling, and that's when they decided to, she came up with the idea of three young women and they named it Charlie's Angels. And she said that we want to make these three women working at a private detective agency. So that's how they got into this whole Charlie's Angels thing. But for all of you that don't know anything about Charlie's Angels, it was just so iconic. And please go back. Maybe you can go on YouTube and Google Charlie's Angels, because it was just something, it was just new and exciting, and just a new idea of how we saw women. And just the whole like, what was it, the whole script of them not seeing Charlie and them
Right.
going on assignments trying to rescue people was actually amazing. And what's even more amazing is that, come to find out, that all three Charlie's Angels women have all survived cancer, which is
Mm-hmm.
amazing. And they
Yes.
were interviewed by who was it, they were interviewed by what's her name? Arnold Schwarzenegger's wife. What's her name? Maria Shriver.
Maria
They
Schwartz.
were
Yes.
interviewed by Marie Shriver, and you should see that because they all still look really, really good.
Yes. And
And
the partnering that they
yes,
have is still there. The fact that um Cheryl, she just announced to the ladies during the interview that she had had a very aggressive breast cancer. And then that's when Kate and Jacqueline shared that they had also experienced cancer. So Farrah Fawcett has transitioned. She's no longer with us, but the other three ladies, you could see that connection and that bond. So that was beautiful to see.
yeah,
Really
I
good.
love it. I love it. And my favorite angel was Jacqueline Smith. She was my favorite.
Yeah, mine was Kate Jackson just because she was more physical um, in her attack. Because remember, she was the one that wore the police
Yes,
uniform, and
yes.
I loved how they all had individual jobs, and at one point they kind of quit those jobs and they became Charlie's girls. So that was pretty cool.
That was cool. So happy 50th to Charlie's Angels.
Yes, happy 50th. Also talking about 50th, April 1st, last Wednesday, was Apple Computer's 50th birthday. They started in a garage, the whole concept of Apple Computer in a garage in 1976, April 1st, 1976. The company has evolved from creating the Apple One, that was the first computer they started with, and now they're a global technology powerhouse worth over $3 trillion. You know, I'm happy that you guys are very successful, but you could eradicate homelessness and hunger with just a little bit of money. Just think about helping some people. And it included iconic products like the Macintosh, iPod. I remember my first iPod, the iPhone, which we're on iPhone 17s now, so many renditions, and the Apple Vision Pro. So Apple Computer has been around. I know it has changed lots and lots of lives. I know it has. I had the pleasure of working for them for 6.5 years, and that was one of the craziest jobs I ever had, but I loved every minute of it. I really did.
And don't forget, they also introduced us to the Palm. Remember the Palm?
No, Apple didn't do the Palm.
Oh, they
Who
didn't
did the
get the
Palm?
Palm now. I thought it
No,
was Apple.
no, no. It was my brain. It was either was it? I thought it was like Sony or it
No, I
wasn't
thought it
Apple
was
because the
Apple.
Palm and the I remember there was the Palm and the compact something. Those two devices were in
Oh, for some reason
competition.
I have in my head that Apple made
Produce the
this.
Palm.
Yeah. No,
No,
they
but
didn't.
we're going to keep talking and we'll give you an update. But the Palm, because it was called the Palm Pilot. So
Yes, yes,
yeah, no, I remember because we got those devices to work with before those were out before the iPhone, the compact and the Palm Pilot, and you used to use them with a little stylus. They had a little
yes,
stylus in them.
yes,
So
yes.
she's looking it up, and while
I'm
she's
looking it up
yes,
now.
and in addition, speaking of 50th, California Great America also celebrates its 50th season this year. And they opened the park on Saturday, August 28th. And it, I know you all heard that the park is closing because the land that the park sits on is closing. However, it's not supposed to close until the end of 2027, and there are lease agreement options that could allow the potential, say business starts booming and the park starts thriving again, that they might be able to operate until 2033. So all of these, Apple Computer, congratulations. Charlie's Angels, 50 years, congratulations. And California, Great America, congratulations, 50 years.
Yes, and I found out that the Palm Pilot was created by a company called Palm Inc.
There
So
you
there you
go.
go.
That's probably why it was called the Palm
Yes,
Pilot, because of
yes,
palm.
yeah. I
Yes.
don't know why I had it in my head Apple.
Yeah. No, I knew it was an apple.
Yeah. Okay, well, yes.
Yes.
All right, now we're going to move on to another update I have. Now, many chats ago, if you remember, if you don't remember, I talked about this incident that happened with a Dr. Gerhard Koning, him and his wife in Hawaii. And Dr. Gerhard Koning was accused of trying to kill his wife in Hawaii. Now, if you don't know the story, this is what happened. So, Dr. Koning, he was actually in Hawaii with his wife, and let me see. I've written this. I want to get the details correct. After Doctor, it says they went to Hawaii and in Oahu, and the doctor and his wife were actually on a hike, and it was her birthday. His wife Ariel, and he had found out that she had an emotional affair. And what happened was he was pretty upset that he tried to push her off a steep cliff and also tried to inject her with a syringe before bashing her head repeatedly with a jagged rock.
Oh my God.
So
I
that's what happened.
remember.
Yes. And Dr. Koning claims his wife tried to attack him, but he hit her twice in self-defense. So that's what he is claiming. And then what happened was a pair of hikers testifying they heard Ariel's screams and stepped in to help. And one of them saw the doctor hitting Ariel on the head. So what happened before the hikers saw them is a kind of he said, she said, because there was no one to witness that. So it's just he said, she said. Now, there's an update because 7 women and 5 men are now deliberating over this verdict. And they're considering the evidence from 3 weeks of testimony, including from Ariel. And also, remember, from the son. The son also testified. And he is saying that he got a call from his dad confessing that he had tried to kill his mom. But what
Right.
Dr. Koning is saying is that he's denying ever confessing to the son. He's saying that the son must have understood as he was speaking frantically to the son, and they both agreed that the doctor never said anything about self-defense at his wife's attack, that the wife was attacking him. So they're going to have to deliberate and decide. And if the doctor is convicted of attempted second degree murder, he could get life in prison. But
Right.
if he's convicted of one of the assault charges instead, he could get almost no jail time. So this is
Wow.
going to be a hard thing because prior to the hikers hearing the scream, it's a he said, she said. So what he's convicted of, if he's convicted of anything, can be very critical to his sentencing. So that's the update, and I hope they consider what the son has testified. Immediately after that, when his dad called him, he said that it was a different story than what his dad is denying that he had told him. So
Right.
those are the updates that's happening with this story. And I'm going to keep on this because I'd like to know what the verdict is. And I want to tell everyone if you haven't really been listening to this. So that's the update of the anesthesiologist trying to kill his wife in Oahu.
Wow.
Crazy,
Wow.
crazy, right?
I mean, I saw the video of the hikers finding her, trying to comfort her, and she kept saying, he's trying to kill me. He tried to kill me. And they're bandaging her up, and he looked fine. There's no scars, there's no marking. So I
She
love the
looked
fact
all
you're going to
bloody over
stay on
there.
top of it. Yeah,
Yeah, terrible.
yeah. So, 'tis the season. It's tax season. Taxes are due on
The
Wednesday,
15th,
next Wednesday, April 15th,
a week from
final
today.
day. That's right. And today's the 8th, so you've got 7 days before everything has to be done. Now, in addition to that, April 10th, this Friday, is when property taxes are due in California. So there's a property tax scam going around. So when you receive your tax, I guess you could say the tax bill, it
Bill,
comes in two segments. You pay it once every 6 months. The thing that's crazy is that in San Jose, people were mailing, it's the time. So people are putting their tax payments in the mail. Someone broke into a mailbox, stole numerous tax payments, use bleach to white out the name of which instead of, I think it says tax collector for the county of Santa Clara or county of Alameda, whatever, you put that person's name in, what their role is. They wiped that out and they fixed it so they could cash the checks. About $28,000 so far has been, because people are following up saying, did you get my payment? And they're like, no, we don't have it. So if you haven't paid it, my suggestion is take it to your envelope to the post office to get it stamped and leave it at the post office. Put it in the hands of the postal people, not in a mailbox, because it's just cautious. So what they are also doing is they are fraudsters is what they call the people. They're posing as government officials or tax consultants, and they're using phishing online and fake mailers and phone calls to steal your money or to steal your personal information. So common tactics include threatening. Okay, so if someone calls you, number one, the IRS does not call or text you ever, 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 ever. So if that's who they say they are, just tell them, say, oh, well, where are you? I work for the IRS too. I can come and meet you. And I guarantee you they'll hang up that phone because they're lying. They are they threaten fake late fees. They're demanding immediate payments via a gift card or crypto. Why would the IRS or the state of California want a gift card for you to pay your taxes? So if it doesn't sound right, it probably isn't right. They are offering bogus reassessment services. We think your property assessment is wrong and we'll reassess it for you. We just need a little information. Do not give it to them. You should never pay fees to a middle person. I represent the county assessment office. No, you don't. Fake, 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 fake. So be careful, be cautious. If it sounds too good, it probably is. If it sounds fishy, it probably is. So be very careful and take your payments to the post office if you can. And be careful even if you file them online, because they are also trying to figure out how to hack your e-payment. It's getting really, really, and Rosetta and I have talked about this a lot. You have to be careful with your data. You have to protect it. And now with the assessment of AI, all kinds of things are happening. So Rosetta's going to talk to us a little bit about AI tax scams.
Yeah, I tell you, I love AI, but there are going to be people that you use AI for the negative and to destroy and self-destruct and different things in negative ways. And there's a lot of AI tax scams right now. And we're hearing like people using AI to call other people, and some of the verbiage they're using are things like this. We're calling on behalf of the tax resolution team at IRS Debt Help Center regarding a matter tied to your tax record. Or there's a robocall, and they actually intercepted this, and they said, our records show you have been identified as a candidate for emergency tax relief under the currently not collect under the currently not collectible. The program is designed to give taxpayers like you a real path forward. However, these relief slots are limited, and they're filling up fast. So they just want to make sure that the IRS, they're trying to like just let people know that these are fake, and AI has done such a good job that they're actually able to con people, some people, with these scams. And they're saying that the IRS will never reach out to you via phone, email, text, or social media. None of these are what the IRS do. What they do is they will send you mail by snail mail, good
Yes.
old proper mail that they always do. So do not fall into the trap of believing anyone unless it's sent by mail. And they said what you can do is instead do not respond, but what you can do is take a screenshot and send it to phishing at irs.gov. And I'm going to put the link below. Phishing is spelled PHISHING
ISING.
at irs.gov, and I'll put it in the descriptions below. So remember, no phone, no email, no text or social media, only mail that the IRS will be corresponding you with.
Yes. Be careful. We know we've given you a lot of information today, in addition to trying to give you some updates of just how life is going for us in the United States right now, as well as the world and space, because we talked about Artemis too. So exciting. I cannot wait to see those pictures. I know they're going to just be mind-boggling, just
Yes.
amazing.
And I'm
So
so excited that I was talking about Charlie's Angels. I want to see if I can get some, maybe YouTube or somewhere has some like clips or scenes or some episodes from previous, because I want to watch it again just to reminisce on the good old times.
yes, and since it's the 50th year celebration, hopefully, Netflix, Hulu, somebody, you could get an audience, because
Yes,
it was one of the first times I think we ever saw women in power positions. Like you said, they weren't running away to be rescued, they were running into danger to help people. And that's
yes,
what we love.
yeah, exactly.
Wow. Well, I hope we touched your hearts, gave you something to think about. We are so grateful that you stayed with us to the end of our chat. We want you to know we feel the love that you send to us, and we send it back to you all
Bubbling
bubbling
over.
over. Yes,
There's my heart right there.
that's right. Heart, heart, heart.
Thank you so much. And we're so glad you could stay with us until the end of the chat. We really appreciate that. And we're loving our teas. I love my tea that I'm
I
drinking.
love my tea today. Iced. It was really good.
Very good. And remember, if you're interested in the teas that we're drinking, tea of the day, then we're going to put
Yes.
it in the description below. Thank
Yes.
you so much. If you liked our chats, remember, hit that thumb icon, subscribe to our channel so that it helps with our algorithms, and hit the bell notification so you're the first to be notified when any of our chats are ready to be seen. All right, we are Silicon Valley Girls, chat over tea. There's our tea.
There's our tea.
And remember
Remember
to
to
always
always
keep
keep
smiling.
smiling.
Take care now.
Bye.
Bye bye.